Dave Lee has some serious advice for Elon Musk. Dave is a Tesla stock bull and he is well respected in the Tesla stock community. Dave asked this question: do you like Elon Musk's political tweets? Most people said no, with some saying yes. Elon has replied to the poll with a sad face. However, what I showed you earlier was a screenshot of the poll while it was still running before Elon replied. After Elon replied, the results shifted completely. Now, most people are saying, yes, we like Elon Musk's political tweets. Elon saw that as well, and he replied with a happy face. Nonetheless, Dave has some serious advice for Elon Musk. An umpire in the game does not take sides. If they did, there would be an uproar, and ultimately, people wouldn't want to play the game. Your role as the ultimate rule maker, the ultimate umpire, is a profound one and should not be taken lightly. Please reconsider your current approach. You are now, perhaps, the most important umpire in the hotbed of social political discourse. Both sides will beg for your attention and favor. Please don't give into it. Got to get back to impartiality. Got to be a fair umpire for the sake of free speech. You know why I'm not worried about that at all is because Elon said this: the social media platforms policies are good if the most extreme 10% on left and right are equally unhappy. Obviously, short term, there are going to be some bumps and some issues, but over the long term, we know exactly what the vision is. And I believe Elon is going to get us there. It may just take a little bit longer than expected. Full self-driving is coming sometime before 2030. Dave Lee also asked Elon. Then Elon responded to this tweet above saying that Tesla stock is not going down because of anything to do with Twitter. And Elon Musk responded basically, that's exactly right. And then Dave asks Elon, with all due respect, do you really think your selling of Tesla's stock and divisive political tweets have nothing to do with Tesla stock performance of late? On a happier note, however, Elon now said, I will resign as CEO of Twitter as soon as I find someone foolish enough to take the job. Indeed, who would want to take that job? Especially if they are not going to get paid a whole bunch of money. After that, I will just run the software and the server's teams. I'm happy with that. I mean, that was the plan all along this whole time, really. It's just now it's really clear that the timeline is probably going to be accelerated, and we Tesla stock investors know that Elon is going to try to be coming back to Tesla probably as soon as possible. And this is where Dave Lee has some advice for Elon. This is quite a long thread. The battle over the mind. This is the battle of our times. Dave says that he is extremely skeptical of the talking points coming from thought leaders of both political extremes intended to stir emotion, rage, and fear. Greed and ambition fuels seizing power from the other, ultimately spiraling society into decay. Not just about trying to steer politics to the center. That alone will fail since political thought leaders of the center are too weak. Power is in the extremes due to commitment and sacrifice to die for beliefs. Need new centered political thought leaders willing to die for their beliefs. Yeah, Dave has a point right here. Politicians that are more towards the center, their followers are just not going to be willing to die for them. Not at all. Let me demonstrate with Tesla community here. So we got Stephen Mark Ryan, and this is his Patreon. And how many Patreon supporters do you think Stephen has? 9,000 Patreon supporters. Stephen takes a position on a very strong position, even on the most controversial issues. On the other hand, Rob Maurer from Tesla Daily only has 2,000 Patreons. Rob, you could say, is the most vanilla person in the Tesla community. At least that's how he comes across in his videos. But if you watch his Twitter sometimes, ooh, it can get a little bit juicy too. But you wouldn't think that if you just watch his videos only. Of course, Rob doesn't really offer any benefits if you join his Patreon, whereas Stephen Mark Ryan makes many exclusive videos and has his valuation model. So that, of course, is a factor, but no doubt there's a huge difference between engagement of Rob's supporters and supporters of Stephen. And in politics, you also have that same thing as well. Power comes from taking a strong position and going to not necessarily an extreme, but going more towards one side. Standing for yourself very strongly, not just in the middle all the time. If we don't fix this problem soon, we'll have AI or artificial general intelligence in the hands of extreme, narrow-minded left-right government who will leverage artificial intelligence to capture more power and sink society further down the drain. Sure, it's tempting for Twitter to swing to the other side after years of being heavily influenced by certain powers in the extreme left, but that temptation needs to be resisted. A bigger vision needs to be adopted, and Twitter should not just be reacting and making more mistakes. Well, speaking of mistakes, I'm sure Twitter is going to make a lot more of those as long as Elon Musk is going to be running it, because Elon moves fast. He makes mistakes, when he learns from them very quickly, he changes, he adapts, and then he moves on. End of story. This is why it's important, in my honest opinion, says Dave, that Elon Musk carefully chooses what he tweets when it comes to political issues. No need to side with extreme one side and inflame the other side when your goal should be to enlarge the center and give centered thought a chance. Now, Dave has a pretty good point right here. This one, I think, is a pretty good idea generally. It's also why I think Twitter policy changes should happen at a much slower pace than now. Too fast-paced policy changes scare even the center and upset at least one extreme side. And when I say it's a good point, I mean Elon banned the Elon Jet account before announcing the change in policy because Elon, which has made him very successful at Tesla, he, instead of explaining things, he just does it, which works extremely well at Tesla. For Twitter, it would be nice if all of us could have 1 week maybe to get familiarized with a change, and then I think a lot of people would be really happy with that. The best policy changes for Twitter should be so gradual we are unnoticed and unassuming. Learn the lesson of boiling the frog slowly, Elon turning up the heat way too fast, and suddenly, frog jumps out. I don't think that's happening with Elon. I don't think that's going to happen. Elon, that he changes things, he makes a big change. It's not slow and gradual. He just rips it out. I'm not saying don't be transparent. Tell people about the changes and be open, honest, but make the changes very gradually. I've said this before, but I don't think Elon should have made any major policy changes for at least 6 months after the acquisition. Now that, I don't know if I can agree with that. 6 months, that's a long time. I mean, make the changes, but let everyone know. Give everyone 1 week, maybe. I would prefer at least 1 week, maybe 1 month maximum. Everyone is going to know, okay, now you can't share anyone's live location anymore. Good, you have 1 month. Then how can you cannot say that, oh, I didn't hear about it, I didn't see that, I was away for a few days and then I come back and my account is bad. Like, you can't make that argument anymore. But 6 months, that sounds like as slow as a government. That sounds a little bit too slow for me. Twitter should focus less on policy changes, Elon should focus less on tweeting political issues, and Twitter should focus more on product innovation. Court video creators and give monetization opportunities. I like that part. Build WhatsApp Messenger competitor. Build micropayment platform. Now, this right here, I think in the beginning, Elon is going to make some changes, which he has made now. And I think all of that is going to eventually start to move away. Make Twitter the dominant social media platform, not through controversy, but rather by delivering value and experience. Move fast with product innovation. Move the ship slowly with policy changes. Stay away from political extreme views. Elon's political tweets sometimes appear supporting extreme side, well, one of the sides, thus alienating the other side. I think it may appear that way, but Elon is right in the middle. So I think a lot of the time people just misunderstand Elon. I mean, he used to vote for Democratic candidates and now he's telling everyone to vote Republican. So I think he can flip back very quickly. So it just looks that way, but I don't think he's really choosing a side. It's just how it looks. I'm a long time fan of Elon, but I think the temptation to react to highly emotional political issues has been a mistake and a costly one. Better to focus on root causes of why society is where it's at and build long-term solutions that actually address the causes. Elon does a lot of things and then he gets the feedback and then he changes his approach basically immediately. So I don't think there's anything to worry about here. Elon is a builder, one of the best in history. Elon Musk escaped the temptation and traps set all around you to react. Most are planted not just for you, but for others too to take the bait. I think Dave might be referencing the situation where we had a crazy person jump on one of the cars where Elon's son was. I think that's not likely to happen again, but we'll see. I mean, where Elon reacts so quickly without explaining to everyone what's going on. Go back to building. Strong words. Come up with a Twitter master plan. Execute with a long-term vision. Stop tweeting political stuff. Keep tweeting fun, non-political stuff, and keep tweeting about Tesla, SpaceX, and all the cool things you're doing. You know, the tweets that I personally like are tweets sort of like this, where Elon doesn't really tell you what's right or wrong. He just points you to the source, and then you make your own decision. Personally, this is the kind of political tweet that I like the most from Elon. It still accomplishes everything that Elon needs to accomplish without any serious backlash. And these are 48 reasons why I only own Tesla stock in my stock portfolio. My name is Matt. Post, like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.